y'all. I coming home from work. It's a Sunday night, and food is on my mind, like always, but not the way you would think. I think about how in the Napervilles and the Chervilles and the kind of hoity-toity, richer neighborhoods, no shade, you can find Panera Bread, Chipotle, Qdoba, like healthy-ish restaurants that's not fries, burgers, fried chicken, all type of stuff. Like there's a good mix. But then you go to the Harveys and the Robins and the South Side of Chicago type neighborhoods that has a different group of people, and you will see more Maxwell's and Harold's and Popeyes and McDonald's, and it's not a coincidence. It's really not. And it sucks. And I say all this to say that the powers that be are not on our side as people of color. So we have to take matters into our own hands and learn how to cook. Single parents or just parents, period. If you are living in a not so great neighborhood, I'm never going to judge you or shade you because I grew up in a not so great neighborhood. I was in the neighborhood, but I was not of it. So, my mom would allow me to have McDonald's here and there, but for the most part, that was a treat. And what I ate on a regular is what she cooked. The reason I have gained so much weight is because once I started driving, I stopped walking as much in high school, and I just let myself go. I mean, I know how to cook. I've known how to cook since I was 9, but I just let myself go. And I'm a foodie. Like, I'm an emotional eater, which is actually a spirit of idolatry, if you think about it. Because if you turn into food when you're mad, instead of just praying for God to kind of calm you down and kind of work out the situation, then that's a form of idolatry. A lot of people don't think about that, but it is. It has kind of been way too big a part of my life. But that's a whole nother YouTube video story. I just say all this to say that you guys need to learn how to cook if you don't. If you are constantly making fish sticks and fried chicken and hamburgers and junk food all the time, your kids are going to be unhealthy. They are going to get sick, and they are only going to want junk food because that's all they know. Excuse me. That's all they know. Get on Google. We get on the internet for everything else. We'll get on Media Hip Hop. We'll get on World Star Hip Hop. Did I say Media Hip Hop? Media Takeout. World Star Hip Hop. We'll get on Facebook. We'll get on YouTube. We'll get on Twitter. We'll get on everything. But we got to get on for the productive stuff too. Get on allrecipes.com. Learn how to make turkey meatloaf. It's not as bad as it sounds. Learn how to start with baked chicken and mixed vegetables and mashed potatoes. That stuff will save you and your family's life. And you don't have to totally throw away the fried chicken, the soul food Sundays, and the taco Tuesdays, and the, stir fry Fridays, or however you do it. But you have to incorporate the good. You have to incorporate healthy with the unhealthy. Got to introduce it to your kids because the powers that be are not on our side. Okay, if you live in an area where it's like a Maxwell's here and a Popeyes there and a Burger King down the street and maybe one Subway. Subway is maybe the only thing we have in the hood. But that's all we have. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're not going to really want to eat healthy. So you have to take matters into your own hands in your household and get you some vegetables and make your kids drink some water. And if they say it don't taste like nothing, okay, just get used to it, because the more you drink it, the more you'll start to want it. Even if you got to start with some lemons in that joker, put some lemons in that water to start so it has some flavor. But you got to think long term. You have to think long term. Your kids are looking at you. They may see commercials and things like that. They may listen to their friends, but you are the first point of influence. So gotta lay down that law. Like, look, okay, got these food stamps. Instead of buying all this frozen stuff, this processed food, let's throw some asparagus in the mix. Let's throw some, you know, get you some frozen vegetables. Oh, this is some decent light. I hope it was not too dark in here before. But just do what you got to do so that you and your family is healthy. You want to live long enough to see your kids do well in life, and you want your kids to live long and healthy lives, and, you know, pass good pass along good habits, nutritional habits down to their kids. So that's really important. I also want to say that it's important what your kids consume mentally as well. If they're playing Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and all these violent video games all the time, that has an effect on their mental. That has an effect on how they view like bad situations. That has an effect on how they are going to deal with you. Like, there are stories of, I heard one story about some 5-year-old or 8-year-old boy who killed his grandmother because she wouldn't let him do something, but he was always playing violent video games. It's like how your mind consumes stuff is no different than how your body reacts when it consumes food. If you have junk food all the time, you're going to get fat, you're going to get unhealthy, all these bad things are going to happen. And it's the same thing with your mind. If you are always playing violent video games, if you're always watching not so great content on TV, it's going to have an effect on your mind, how you think, how you deal with people, how you know, just how you handle situations. Like, okay, I'm not a big, well, I don't want to sidetrack. So it's really important that I'm not saying cut out the Call of Duty games and the Grand Theft Auto games, but just monitor and use moderation. Lay down the law with your kids. They will be all right if you make them go outside, or they will be all right if you make them pick up a book. You know what I mean? Like, it's for their long-term health. My kid, and you know, sometimes I'm guilty of it. Sometimes Adrian will be on his tablet way too long, and I have to tell myself, Tia, make that boy read a book. Make him go outside. Make him do something in this house. He can't be on his tablet all the time. Like, moderation. That's all I'm saying is moderation. So learn how to cook and use moderation. That is it. That is all. Have a blessed night.